This video was originally sold as part of a paid online lecture platform 5 years ago. The contract has ended, so I'm uploading it to my personal YouTube channel. The content remains unchanged and will be presented with English dubbing. If the subtitles feel too fast, please reduce the video playback speed. It contains plenty of helpful information for beginners, so I hope many of you enjoy watching it. Hello, this is Kim&. It's a pleasure to meet you, even though it's online. From now on, you will be joining Kim&'s hyper-realistic pencil drawing class, often called the Bible of Drawing. If you follow the process calmly, the course is designed so that you can achieve strong results. Let's stay motivated and go through it together. As for my background and introduction, I have already covered them in previous videos, so I'll skip them here. If you haven't seen them, I would appreciate it if you could take a look. Since this class focuses on practical drawing, we'll begin by establishing the core concepts and theory. Kim&'s Notes, Part 1. A Proper Curriculum. After practicing drawing for many years, the process of creating drawings was not always smooth. I often focused on expression without solid reasoning, which led to habitual drawing. Although it claimed to be accurate, there were actually many pseudo-theories. Influenced by them, I continued drawing under misconceptions. I kept being led by the subject itself, without even realizing why it was wrong. At times, I was only improving my material handling skills. The reason I believed my process followed correct principles was that when I listed the theories and steps I knew and simply looked at the wording, they seemed to match what people commonly said about art, as well as information from books and searches. There appeared to be a certain level of consistency. However, the questions never disappeared and the results were not satisfying, so I had to solve them myself. My approach was to ask myself, why? And verify it through continuous experiments. During this process, there were many failures and doubts about my talent. Fortunately, I was able to find small clues and refine them over many years. By producing results, I was eventually able to build a curriculum. This curriculum was not perfect from the beginning. While running a private studio for over 5 years, I kept producing experimental works and teaching more than 300 students. The curriculum was continuously refined, and it consistently produced strong results. In the early stage, as my skill improved, the results looked convincing, but they relied more on intuition than on clear theoretical explanations. When explaining materials I was less familiar with, even if the theory seemed correct, my limited experience forced me to rely on assumptions. This made real application difficult. Through this experience, I realized that being good at drawing and being good at teaching are very different things. In the end, theory and expression must be practically connected. Practical means they form a clear feedback loop. If someone draws well but cannot teach, or teaches well but cannot draw, that loop does not exist. In the end, it cannot truly be called mastery. If what you learn does not connect to other work, then you have only learned a style of expression. You end up being controlled by the subject. I call this non-circulating expression caused by pseudo-theory. To improve these issues, I created the practical curriculum. Was that a bit heavy for the beginning? Rather than memorizing everything, focus on understanding the overall flow. You may also take notes as you go. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next lecture.